Welcome to training with the Bow Valley SPCA. Today we're talking about puzzle feeders. Puzzle feeders, brain games, puzzle toys, they're all in the same category. All of these things are going to help your dog slow down while they're eating. They may motivate them to eat if they're a picky eater. They might give them an interest in toys, and it teaches them to self-soothe and have a bit of a job to do rather than just gulping down their food. It also, because it's slowing them down, it helps them digest their food better so that they don't get that indigestion, bloating. But it also has that mental stimulation that's going to really help them think about what they're doing and find their food, like they're foraging, which will really help to make them less active and make behavior issues less pronounced. So this is the perfect way to teach your dog patience if they pick up their butt, okay. It makes her slow down while she's eating. It's going to help with digestion as well so that she's not going to just gobble it all down and feel bloated. And it takes more time. You can also add a thin layer of water and freeze it. She doesn't care much about anything else while she's eating her. So this is a brain game puzzle feeder that they have to turn each piece in order to get out the kibble. You can start to make it more interesting by maybe putting a treat in one of the things, or you can put kibble only in certain ones so that it becomes more of a find it game instead of just opening up the whole thing. There's all different types like this where you can get cups that they have to pick up the cup and find the treat or the kibble underneath, and it just makes them have to kind of focus a little bit more on what they're doing rather than, again, just gobbling up their food. And it's really mentally stimulating for them as well, so that they actually feel like they did something in their day as opposed to just gobble their food and go lay down. So these two food toys, you can see work a little bit differently from each other. So you can either put wet food and freeze it in between the slots, or you can pile their kibble in there. And it just means they have to kind of work to dig them out so that, again, they're just stimulated for a lot longer. And you can put things inside as well. They'll roll it around the house, and it can make them more toy motivated. So where they might actually want to play with toys on their own and self-soothe and self-entertain more so than you having to entertain them all the time. These slots on the outside, you would want to use more of a wet kibble or a wet food or peanut butter, freeze them. But on the inside, whoops, Panther. On the inside, I've put the dry kibble. What's that? So this one is a squirrel. It's similar to the Kong, and you can use it as a Kong. We'll talk about that as well. But on the inside, you can see there's little tabs, and you can cut those out or you can leave them depending on what you're going to put inside. So if you leave the tabs, it should always be something like a kibble or a treat that they can bounce out of it, as opposed to a wet food that they have to lick out of it, because it's going to be difficult for them to get that out. Sometimes to get them started, if you drop it from a high distance, look, oh, then all the kibble will come out and it gets them on a roll. The last thing we have here is a classic Kong. This would usually have something frozen inside it. This was not frozen, but peanut butter, wet food, you can blend up different purees, anything. You can even wet their kibble and freeze it in there, and they're going to just have a lot of time to work on that. So it's a really good thing to give them when you're about to leave the house, if you're going to work, or if you just feel like you need them to have a little alone time away from you. It'll keep them busy. So Panther's already ready for it. Leave it. Good, take it, take it. If you were to freeze peanut butter or freeze their wet food in here, it will last much longer because it will just take them more time to work on it, like a popsicle as opposed to juice. You gotta look beautiful for your close-up.